To the Purple Couch Lounge. It's a day 5. It was a flex day in class, Friday, 3/28/2025. If your child is in Miss Wrinkle's homeroom, they went to art today. Ask them what they did. If they're in Miss Lovett's homeroom, they went to music, and I went and watched them in music for a little bit today. They were having such a good time. Big shout out to my little dude. I sent a note home with one of my boys today to his daddy to say he has had a perfect week. That made me feel good. So, JH, you rock, my man. So today we did a fun little thing in class. I gave him a small piece of paper and I told him on one side of the paper, write their question. Can he do the work? They had to correct this. Then I said, flip it over and write your statement. He can do the work. Or yes, interrupter comma, he can do the work. And I told him, do not write your name on it. I had them folded up. And then I mixed them all up and I passed one out to each student randomly. No one knew who had whose work. Then I had them put the question pointing out toward the audience on their forehead. And we set a timer for 60 seconds, 1 full minute. And they just walked around, and the kids in the room were looking at the sentence, checking for editing errors like capital letters, punctuation, line usage. Oh, they had a blast. When my 1 minute timer went off, they flipped it over to the statement, and we did it again. Oh, they had a blast. They had a blast. They had a blast. They had a blast. It was fun. This is what I hope to see. Can he do the work? Yes, he can do the work. We read our full book from front to back today in small groups of 3. And then we worked on the story setting, characters, and we pointed out the beginning, middle, and end. Their collaborative structure was to identify all that stuff, and they wrote it out. Our formative today was the AR test. And then, here's the kicker, guys. So, today is Friday. It's the end of week 2 of module 4, of quarter 4. That means that every one of my students should have 3 AR points in AR. And we had some that did not. So that had to be made up. So on Friday, I have choice time. If you've got all your work done, you've done your AR, your Lexia, all that jazz is done. Then you get to pick what you do. The kids who need to make up missing work do their missing work at this time. So it's just a fun way to say, if you've been following directions all week, you get to make choices about what you do this afternoon. Y'all, I was shook. About 3/4 of my class had that free time to make choices about what they wanted to do. And I just stood there like a statue in awe in my class this afternoon. Because what they wanted to do was my slide deck. They wanted to come in here and do my slide deck. They love it. They love the slide deck. So it just blew my mind. I did this thing where my best friend teaches 1st grade in Panama City. I had a letter from her class telling the kids about their homerooms and that they're a little bit nervous about going to 2nd grade because they heard it's very different. And I'd given my kids don't like to write in 2nd grade. Like, they're allergic to pencils. But my kids, our kids, your kids, our kids, these amazing little people were like, Miss Wrinkle, can we write a letter to Miss Smith's class? And I was just like, the what? You want to what? Yeah, Miss Wrinkle, these 1st graders are counting on us. They need the advice. And I'm like, wow. What would you like to use to do that? And they're like, well, you remember back when we were doing we were doing alliteration, and we were using that chart paper, and I was like, yes. They're like, well, the back of that's clean. Can we use that? I was like, sure. So here we are in the classroom. There's a long roll of banner paper laying on the floor that's already been written on one side, waste not, want not, save a tree, and all that jazz. They flip it over to the back, and they've got it laid out on the floor, and they are writing pen pal letters to another classroom that they've never met. And I had kids that were behind on their work on the other side of the class. They were working as fast as they could. The little Carson up there, Miss Wrinkle, can I get in boom cards? Can I do our slide deck? I was like, sure. And here she is up here at the front of my room teaching the slide deck to some other kids, and then they're taking turns teaching. And the funniest thing about it is they pretend they're me. I do all kind of hysterical ridiculousness in that classroom. You got to keep them awake, for goodness sake. So, y'all, it was such a good day. These kids are amazing. You guys are amazing. I love you all. Remember, at home, if you want to play these games with the kids, they love them. It's just work. It's just work in a complete and total different setting. Those my sons. So that's what they did today, and they amazed me right here. Affixes are your prefixes and your suffixes, and we call these exposure standards for them at this early age because it's really not on their level. It's above it. At the beginning of the year, when I made this game, I was told by a few people that I was giving them too much. It was too much for them, that I needed to dial it back. But these are exposures. We were just trying to get them used to seeing it so that whenever they get there, it's not such a crippling thing. Because on our state testing, it shows this is a global low area. And I made this, and oh my gosh, today, they got every single one of them. I'll show you how I do it with them. Remember, when you log in here, you click the little picture in the center that the finger's pointing at, and when this pops up, you hit that purple block that says continue, and then it's going to ask you to log in. You're going to log in with the username 01 Zebra, no spaces. For the password, it is capital letter Z EBRA class. Zebra class with a capital letter Z, no spaces. Now, one of my kids said she was having a hard time getting in, but what we figured out she was doing was when she got through typing zebra class, she was hitting the space bar at the end. You can't do that. You got to not hit that space bar. For some reason, I'm all about the yellow today, and I don't even like yellow. But anyhow, let's look at this. So what we do in class is, let me move this. I'm going to make that bigger. I say to the children, let's read it. And I have my little stick, and I say that when we read together, this word means not lucky. What is the meaning of not lucky? Would that be unlucky or relucky? And of course, they are going to say unlucky. Okay? Then I'm going to say, now read with me. And I'm going to point my stick to the word be. And I say, the prefix un means not lucky. The word unlucky means not lucky. And we do it over and over. The word unlucky means not lucky. The word unlucky I need a different color. The word unlucky means not lucky. What does un mean? Un means not, opposite of. So if you're unlucky, are good things going to happen to you? No, bad things. Good, I know you got it. Then they click submit, and it says ding. Now if I just go say repack, unpack, I'm going to say repack. Repack. Whoops. My kids are doing this in the classroom without direct supervision. How am I going to know whether they're guessing or not? Whoops. Whoops. It's perfect. The word means not pack. What does not mean? Un is what represents unpack. What does repack mean? It would mean to pack again. So the kids are going to move that right there. Now we're going to read. The word unpack means not pack. The word unpack means not pack. They build it into their brain vault. And that is what we're doing with these games like this. Okay? And the children love them. Our affixes of the day. And then we were done. These kids, though, love these slide decks so much. I went in and grabbed these other games and dropped them in at the end so that they weren't scrolling around between all my different slide decks. And I just put them in there, and they just, for the last 30 minutes of the school day, pretended they were teachers teaching this to their students. Have mercy, y'all. These kids are amazing. You made some amazing kids. Thank you for entrusting them to me. I came home tired, but it's the best kind of tired in the world. No, I'm a lucky person. Thank you so much for trusting me with them. Your kids, my kids, our kids. I love you guys. I'll see you on Monday.